Welcome to a Dynamite Delight. No, I did a video earlier saying Rampage. I'm thinking of Rampage, how I'm going to do that one because it's coming on at 4, not at 10. So, I hope you'll have a good Thanksgiving. I'm not going to explain what I've gone through. I'm just know I'm going to be visiting relatives. But this is not about me. This is about a Dynamite Delight. Was it good? Yes. Was it great? That's up for debate because the great part of Rampage was the last match, which I'll explain in a minute, but most of this show was okay. There were things that were clarified here, which was very good, that needed to be addressed. It was time to address it, and I'll explain it right now. One thing that was addressed that was very important, and that was Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa relinquished her title. She's not ready, so she gave up her title. Now, either Tony said, look, you're not ready yet. You got to be ready. I need the title. So he told Thunder Rosa, you got to give it up, which she did. So when it comes to the match of the fatal three-way tag match, which I'm going to talk about first since I'm talking about this, I can honestly say it helped. Does not mean this was a great match, this fatal three-way tag match. I'm not saying it. But it did help to clarify something for Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm, because they said after the match is over that, let me tell you who was in the match. We got Britt Baker and I don't know why it wasn't Rebel who was in the ring. I would rather seen Rebel in the ring than Jamie Hayter, but I don't know if Rebel can actually wrestle anymore. I don't think she can. I think she's out. But if she was able to wrestle, I think she should have wrestled instead of Jamie Hayter. Since she's the champ, she doesn't always need to wrestle. She needs to be built properly. And even though she's loved, I think it would have been better. Now, what did Britt do? She tried to introduce her and kind of piss off Jamie, but she made it look okay. Then we have Nightingale and Sky Blue. They're not really doing anything with them on Rampage or Dynamite other than just throwing them there. And we get Ty Mello. I was about to say Conchi. Ty Mello and Anna Jay. Like I said, the match wasn't bad. It wasn't great, and it didn't really mean anything. There's no women's tag division, which I'm hoping they don't do because at this point they don't have enough women to do it. 2, why didn't they do something with this that would lead them, since this has been found out, it would have been good to see whoever won the match, one of them, both of them could challenge to see who would be the next person to go for the AEW Women's title. I think that would help. I know that, and this is about Tony, since Tony did get stated that she was an AEW champion, she's got to have a rematch clause. And if she doesn't, she can fight for one. Fight for a rematch. But I kind of wished his fatal three-way tag would lead to 2 women having a chance to go up against each other, and whoever won will go up against Jamie Hayter. That's what I kind of wish had happened here, but it didn't. I'm just saying. Opening match of the show was the All-Atlantic title, which had Jake Hager and... guys, I still like Orange Cassidy. I do. I do like Orange, and he's been a fighting champion. But what are they doing with the All-Atlantic title since they took it off Pac? Now, they really weren't doing a lot with Pac, but now that they do have an Orange Cassidy, is it more important? You guys tell me below, do you believe it's more important? As far as I can tell, no. It doesn't really feel more important, even though he's doing a lot of matches with it. In the end, Orange is going to win, which he did. The question is he getting over with that title? Is he helping the title, or is he getting over with it? I don't think he's getting the title over that much, and I don't think he needs to needs the title to elevate him because he's already over. Now, QT Marshall did come out, and I'm not giving this up yet, but QT Marshall came out. He won a shot at the title, but then everything goes black, and what did we get? I knew it had to be the House of Black. So that means Malachi Black was finally back, and they destroyed everybody. They destroyed QT Marshall's guys. They destroyed the best friends. They destroyed the staff. And then they left. Good. Julia Hart, in her role as the handler for them, is a good one. She doesn't have to talk much. She just has to be there to guide them, kind of like a pallbearer. Not saying she's even close to a pallbearer, but you get my point. Now, the final Eliminator Tournament match of Ricky Starks and Ethan Page. Now, here's the thing. Did I believe Ethan was going to win? Yeah, I thought he was going to be the next person, but I didn't know if it was going to be Mox or MJF. Once MJF won, there was no way Ethan was going to go up against MJF. You're not going to have a heel go against a heel. That is the reason why Ricky Starks had to be in it, and that's the reason why Ricky Starks looked like $1 million. Whether you like Ricky or not, it's not the point. The point is that Ricky looked damn good. And with his entire body taped, it was to try and make as much he was over. He was flat out over with as much sympathy as possible, which is fine. That was a good thing because he won. Now he'll be the number one contender. That will be at when what was it called? I forgot the name of it. When Winter is Coming. I don't know why I blanked on it, but I don't know why they call it Winter is Coming. I understand it's a good thing to say for Dynamite as a theme Dynamite, but that was really for Sting. I kind of wish they didn't do it, or they would make it into its own pay-per-view. But since they only do a few pay-per-views for the year, I'm not expecting them to do something special with that. It's okay. Now, let's get to the elephant in the room. William Regal opening the show. William opening the show was perfect. People were just mad at Will and they were cursing his ass out. Fuck you, Will. Which was good. Then you had Mox finally come out after Will basically said MJF is not coming. He's not coming to this damn town. He's not going to come. And they were cheering to CM Punk. At least Chicago was still cheering for CM Punk. They were cheering. But, you know what? I got to say this before I go any further. I saw what Just Alex talked about when it came to CM Punk and saying to come back in. And a lot of people would rather see him away. Now, I was one of those people. But since they brought the Bucks and Kenny back, and I will talk about their best of 7 in a minute, it stands to reason that since Tony has not bought out CM Punk's contract, he hasn't done it, and I've heard some people saying, one of you, you know who you are, my friend, you know who you are, I know who you are. When you talked about MMA and that he was there talking shit, and he's just, I can't wait for him to go, honestly, he's not leaving. At this point, CM Punk's not going anywhere. He's not. They're not going to buy him out. They're not going to fire unless he does something absolutely stupid, which I don't think he will. He will not be bought out. He'll probably wait until his contract expires and then he'll be gone. But other than that, he's going to be staying for a while because Tony knows that the minute he's finished, the minute Triple H is going to pick him up. It doesn't make a difference if Triple H hates his guts. He knows he's worth something. So let's go back to Chicago. Let's go back to William Regal. And then let's go to Mox. Because William made it very clear that he had sent an email to MJF. And he will tell everybody next week. But as he was explaining it, Mox comes out. He was ready to rip Regal's damn head off until Bryan Danielson comes out. And at first, tries to talk to him sensibly. Then smacks him in the face. And then got on his knees and begged Mox not to kill him. Because he said, look, you cannot touch him. He has 2 clots in his head. And he has a broken neck twice. You can't do it. You will kill him. Then he said something that kind of hit home for me personally. Because he tried to explain about his father being alcoholic. And talking about himself. And that is Mox. As Brian tried to make it very clear that his dad was an alcoholic. Before he died, he didn't understand him until he met William Regal, who helped him to understand and not hate his father before he died. That he was able to love his father. He owes this man, and he loves the man. And he begged him, please don't hurt him. I love this man, yes. And he did say this. You've done bad things before. I've done bad things before. He just did a bad thing. Don't hurt him. He's done something bad, yes. But you can't do it. The only thing he didn't do is say, look, you know this guy. He's helped you. Bryan Danielson made it about himself, but it still was important. And then you could see Moxley just wanting to rip somebody's head off if he didn't have to rip off William Regal's head. So he said, okay. He asked for a mic. He told Bryan Danielson, all right, I won't do anything. I won't hurt him. He backs away, and that's Bryan, and he goes face to face with Will. And he makes it very clear. I want you to run. Comes right into his face like this. I want you to run. Run as far and as fast as you can. And you better run. Because if I catch you, I give my word you will not live to see the next day. So you better run. Walk out of here, walk out of this ring, and go away. And then the crowd was pretty much saying, you know, the old adage, goodbye adage song. It was good. But I doubt that he's gone. Because MJF is going to make sure he's safe. Unless Will is going to start working in the back. Maybe this might be... Maybe the Blackpool Combat Club may be over. This might be it. Because Will is no longer going to be there. This might be the end of it. And he may be working in the back from now on. Not that he couldn't still work in the front. I think he will be working with MJF. I do believe this. But he probably won't do it immediately. He'll probably let MJF start doing his stuff on his own. And then he'll come back to probably help him in some form or fashion. So, this was the best segment I've seen in a bit. Was it a great segment, but it was the best segment throughout the show. I liked it. Now I got to do this with Jade Cargill's baddies are now short one woman. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell? No one wanted to hear what I said. I'm worried about Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan. Because I was worried they would just be in the background. They would never get over. And no one wanted to hear it. They said, at least the ones who spoke said, you don't get it. This is going to elevate. No. I had this terrible feeling that Jade was going to be the only thing. And they wouldn't give a damn about anyone else. And look what happened. Red Velvet helped out in the pay-per-view. And now, after the situation with that storyline with Jade Cargill and Nia Rose sucked. I'm sorry. She should have lost that title a long time ago, and they're talking about Jade. But now, Gray and Red Velvet are now the only baddies. And now Kiera Hogan has been fired because she didn't get the job done. What did I tell you? Kiera Hogan was the most experienced woman there. More experienced than Gray, as far as I can tell, and more experienced than Red Velvet. She was the most experienced there over even Jade Cargill. She was the most experienced one, and now what have they done? They got rid of her. What? I feel like that was just a waste of time for her. A waste of time. Now, either she's going to go to the NWA. If they're going to throw her back to... calm down. You know what I think is going to happen? She's going to probably be on pretty much Dark Elevation if she's still there. Or she's going to leave and go straight to NWA or MLW or Impact Wrestling. And I'm sure someone's going to say, great, she's going back to Impact Wrestling. The way Impact has been lately, I don't know if they'll even do anything with her. She would just be background, kind of like what's been going on in Impact Wrestling. MLW, maybe they'll do something with her. And NWA, they may do something with her. But Impact, I don't know if they will do anything with her. It would be wise to use her against Tasha Steelz. I just don't see it. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, the vid pack for Jungle Boy was not bad. But I don't know where they're going to go with him now. Because honestly, why couldn't Luchasaurus win? Why couldn't this been about Luchasaurus? Because, yes, they had a steel cage match. And yes, he made it about saying, I loved Luchasaurus. He wasn't just my partner, he was my friend for years. I loved him, literally like family. And he betrayed me, and I'm angry. But you know what? I had a moment. Something we both wanted before we came to AEW. And I got it with him. And it's fitting that this happened with him. But I still beat your ass. Does this mean it's over? No. Do I believe Luchasaurus has been hurt by this? Yes, because he's acting just like every big guy. Look, we get Lance Archer. He's done nothing. Luchasaurus has done nothing. Brian Cage has done nothing. Have they done anything? They're the big guys of the company, and they should be used in the proper way. They've done nothing. What happened with Powerhouse Hobbs? He's supposed to be mean something. Nothing. So what now? What now for Jungle Boy? They're going to just have him rehash with Luchasaurus again? Probably they will, because there's no way it wouldn't happen. Does it mean I'm going to be happy about it? In a sense, for Jungle Boy, yes, it'll be a good thing for him because they'll still be showing him and making him relevant. But then Luchasaurus, I've always said Luchasaurus is money. He deserves better than this. I'm just saying. Now let's see. The best of 7 match. Was the Elite hated? Yes! They booed the Elite and the Elite just ate it up. They devoured it. The crowd couldn't stand them. There were some that did love the Elite. They did show a couple of people, but they devoured it. They loved it because they knew that they got something. Doesn't mean it's a good thing because of how it got like that, but at least they're trying to play into it. Unlike WWE, when Vince was in control, they would not play into it. So they're playing into the hate, at least at Chicago. Once the Death Triangle came out and they started the match, it was a good match. But then they decided to bring in hammers. Really? First, I think it was Nick who finally brought in a hammer because he wanted to get revenge for what Ray Phoenix did. And they destroyed Ray Phoenix. Ray tried to apologize to let me get to you like this. Was this typical of a face to do that to a heel? Yes. He would go to him and say, look, I screwed up. I'm sorry. Shakes Kenny's hand, and then Kenny kicks him, and then they beat the crap out of Ray. But then at the end, you see Nick, who brings in a hammer and then starts licking the damn thing. What the fuck are you doing, Nick? Nick Jackson, if I'm right, it's Nick. I don't think it was Matt. It was Nick who was licking the damn thing. I could be wrong about who it was. But he was licking it. And then once it was, I believe, who was it that stopped him? I can't remember who it was. I think it was Alex. Or no, I think it was Penta that might have stopped him from doing it. And unfortunately, at this point, we got a Pac with a broken nose. Pac's nose was broken during the match at Full Gear, as you already know. And he was wearing a guard on his face. So they were focusing a lot on his face. But in the end, it was Penta who threw a hammer into the ring. No. It was Penta who grabbed the hammer, or was thrown the hammer, and he nailed, I can't remember who. And in the end, they won again, using a hammer that the ref did not see. And Ray is upset again that he won another match with a cheat because they knew. So was it a bad match? No. Was it ridiculous for both of them to use hammers? Yes, but they're going to play into this. Look, the crowd hates the Elite. They love Death Triangle, even though they're cheating like a Eddie Guerrero. I believe I pronounced it correctly. Lie, cheat, and steal is his moniker. They're doing it. And there's nothing wrong with it, as long as they can get away with it. So I'm fine with it, but the question is, how far are they going to go with this best of 7 before the Elite gets back? Well, it's obvious the Elite's going to have to win the next one if they're going to keep going, because if they do win one more, I mean, it's not going to look good. It's not. Let's move on. Let's see here. The Acclaimed segment. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave the Acclaimed alone, because we don't know what's going on with Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, because Swerve faced Keith, and Keith said pretty much, you better choose your words wisely. And he said, let's talk. And Swerve put his hand in front of the camera and said, all right, we'll talk. So I don't know what's about to happen. I'm not saying that Keith is going to turn heel, but I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't. We don't know how far they're going to go with this. And once you saw Satnam, when you saw Jeff Jarrett, when you saw, I know there's a good chance they're going after the Acclaimed. But we don't know what's about to happen with Keith Lee and Swerve. That could also be added in. So I'm going to leave it alone. That's just me. And let's see, the final match of the night. If I'm forgetting something, and I know I am, it's just me, I'm sorry. The best match of the night for me. Chris Jericho versus Tomohiro Ishii. That was the best match I've seen Chris have in a long time. At one point, Chris is bleeding from the chest. It was a damn good match. It was total strong style, total roughness, no aerial, no high flying. It was just them trying to beat the crap out of each other. Now, it's not something I always watch, and it's not something I'm always interested in. I want a well-balanced match of wrestling, of strategy, and either high impact, high flying, grapple, whatever. In this case, it was extreme high physicality. I mean, they were trying to hurt one another. Chris got chopped so much in the chest, he just started to bleed heavily from his right pec. Right here, it was just going, it was just a puddle on his chest. But in the end, he won that damn match. By submission, he submitted the Stone Pitbull, which is not something he usually does. He doesn't just submit to anybody. So was this a good damn match? It was the best match of the night. But here's another problem, as I've said before. We are still getting the ROH World Heavyweight Championship feeling more as the main title than the AEW title is. Right now, MJF feels like the IC champ. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If you know how to book the people, they can be beloved. They can be just as important as the world champ. But let's be honest. Chris feels like the world champ. And MJF feels like the IC champ. Every title after that is just a low-tier title. And that's bad for AEW. AEW should not be doing this. They need to get something sorted out. Particularly, they're about to do Final Fight in December. And they're already advertising for it. And that's not helping AEW to be more. Right now, AEW, there's no CM Punk yet. And no matter if you like CM Punk or not, I felt and I still feel like if the locker room is not happy with him, and if he's brought back and they can't get the locker room under control, understand, what caused all this mess was an uncontrollable locker room. No matter if you like it or not. The locker room has not been under control. Look, when you heard Tony Schiavone with Excalibur and Taz, didn't you notice that Tony Schiavone and Taz kind of weren't working very well together? And at one point, Taz had to apologize because he was acting a little out of sorts and talking disrespectfully to Tony. He had to actually say, I wish to publicly apologize to Tony. I went a little too far with this. It's not being professional. I apologize. What is going on? If the commentary team cannot stay focused and they're joking around, but then when they start talking over each other and having an attitude that's not really relating to the match or the storyline, you got a problem. You have a problem. You got Taz literally apologizing on open mic because he was acting stupid, and he had to apologize to Tony because he realized he was stupid. That can happen. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is the first time this has been going on between Tony and Taz. This isn't the first time. If you've noticed over the couple of months, it's not been totally stable. And Taz has talked over Tony. And Tony's tried to be respectful, but Taz has been kind of overstepping it. With an attitude in some cases. Not saying it's a bad attitude, but with an attitude. Now, that could be with his character, yes. But there's a point when you go from character to kind of going over the line with the character sometimes, not every time, and then becoming disrespectful, which he did, and he had to apologize publicly on the damn live mic. So they need to fix this mess. If CM Punk comes back and the locker room is out of control again, even if CM Punk behaves himself, something has to be done. And here's the kicker, whether you like it or not. CM Punk has been selling out arenas, selling out pay-per-views. It doesn't make a difference if people are so pissed at him. They're going to watch him. And those who are at the arena, they will either boo his ass like crazy because they're going to want his ass to lose, or they're going to cheer him. He is what been helping AEW. And since he's been gone, next to the bad booking that has been jumping up and down, they've been having problems selling out arenas. No matter what. They don't got Cody. It's not like if they got themselves a Rock coming back to wrestle or a Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's say Stone Cold Steve Austin goes to AEW. That would be big. Let's say The Rock goes to AEW. That would be big. Hell, John Cena going to AEW would be huge. It would really hurt WWE if John freaking Cena, who has been bleeding and is well known for that, goes there. It would jump the ratings like crazy because John makes ratings whether you like him a lot. No, you see I'm botching here because if John did go to AEW, because as far as I know, he doesn't really have a contact with WWE. He just has an agreement. If he did, oh my gosh, AEW would explode. Because you just got to put him there and he will get over. Money will come. Now, I'm not saying he will, but you know my point. And I hope you enjoy this Dynamite a lot. Give me a comment below. I have to say now, Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. And like I said, I don't know if I will be able to see Impact, whether it's a repeat of the year or not, if it was for the Impact Provisional Wrestling Federation or not. I think that is in December. Someone did leave a comment saying that Throwback Thursday, I said Tuesday. This is what I get. You never know what you're going to get in my show. I'm always botching. If it's coming in December and it's not this Thursday, fine. But if it is something, I'll have to see it another day. And if I remember correctly, Survivor Series is Saturday. So I'll be doing Rampage. I believe I will do SmackDown. And I will be doing Survivor Series that Saturday. So this is what you're going to get. Peace.